Okay, hi everyone. How many people do we have in stream? 9, not so much. Hi Smeh, hi Mina, hi Howie, hi Fidel.
Hi, Fanny.
Can't really hear you. Smeh, no, I can hear you. I'm talking about, I thought it was Howie. I can hear you, Smeh.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Howie, Smeh,
Hi
and Fidel.
everyone.
Hi Howie. Fidel. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, as always with the earphones. Haha. He hasn't changed much. Amina,
The
hi.
technical fidel.
Yeah, typical Fidel. Fidel hasn't changed over the years. Um, welcome to today's session, guys. Uh, yeah, you guys are welcome. Let me see if I can try and get people on the Discord to join. I think we have about 9 people on the call, which is not very good.
Okay.
Okay, well, I guess
Let us give everyone a couple of minutes.
Okay. So she okay, fine, fine, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Mina, if you can hear me, can you check your WhatsApp? Mina, if you can hear me, just check your WhatsApp. Mina, can you hear me?
I've heard you, yes. I'm
Yeah,
checking.
just check your WhatsApp, please. So I think we should just get started. Um, yeah,
Okay.
I think we should just get started. Okay, the numbers are coming up. So yes, maybe we can get. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session, which is going to be the last session of the Udara launch week, and also which is going to be the launch day for the build. So, mostly today's discussion will be around what the build is, how long it's going to run, what's expected from everyone, its rules, structure, the judge system, and everything will be discussed today. And every curiosity, every question of yours would be surely answered today. Other than that, there is also going to be a panel discussion among NSKI team and the alumni from last year bootcamp. So I think it's going to be a good conversation, and you are welcome to ask whatever question to everyone, whether it is for NSKI or for the alumnis as well. Till we start our session, let me see how many of you are following. So, your name, uni, and country. Your name, university, and country on the chat. Okay, Prince, I think you joined yesterday without knowing what the event is about. I hope you have a clear understanding of what this is and what we are doing. Hosanna, Nigeria. Hosanna seems like an Ethiopian name. That's crazy. Okay. Gazahang, probably Ethiopian. Nigeria, Nigeria. Huh. Where are my fellow Habeshas? Okay. Ethiopia. Mm-hmm. Ethiopia, Nigeria, Nigeria. Where are the fellows from Kenya? Saba University, Ethiopia. Wolaita Sodoke, Uganda. Itbarak from Ethiopia. Mina, where are your guys?
I'm also wondering where my Kenyans are, man. I'm not seeing them in the chat.
We're probably to see them soon. Muhammad from Nigeria. Okay. Okay, are you guys ready for the build? Mhm. Not sure. Why? Okay. If any, if you're ready.
Yeah, okay. I think you're the one. Okay, so fine. Just to give everyone context, you're all welcome to today's session. So, like you all know, the build is our own version of. We don't use the word hackathon here. This is the first and last time I'll use this word. Outside of here, you guys know what the hackathon is like. One day you build something, but we want to do more than that. Everything you've learned, you're going to go through. You call it a sprint, and a 6 week sprint, where you're going to try and develop a product and actually take it out to users. I think one thing we're trying to do in the build is we're trying to give you that real experience of actually building an actual product where for users, this is something that we notice in most hackathons. You hear people saying things like, "I'm just going to the hackathon just to win the money." What happens after you build that product after one day? I think we can all tell from what Jesse said. Yes, was it yeah, yesterday that what you build in one day, that product you build in one day is not production ready. You know, and yes, even 6 weeks. Some people you can build something production ready, but also not just building the product, is also taking it out to users. That experience of getting feedback from the users is so golden. We don't talk about this enough. Again, so if you're lost, please just um, stay with me. I think along the line you get a better understanding. So our today's session is going to be broken up into two. As you all know, NSKAI is the nonprofit that started this, and the other project is under NSKAI. So we had a boot camp last year that I think gave us the blueprint for everything we're doing now. Sumaya was one of the participants of the boot camp. Mina was one of the participants of the boot camp. On the call, we have two other participants, Howie and Fidel. Howie from Ethiopia, Fidel from Kenya. There are some Nigerians that I reached out to, but again, the traffic. I think Nigerians can relate to this. This is time everybody's going on my way, all in traffic. If you're in Lagos, so they're not here. So we're going to have a panel session where the panelists are going to answer questions on how the bootcamp was for them. So you guys can really understand where we want you to be at the end of these 6 weeks. One, where you may be next 1 year because the bootcamp happened last year, August last year, give or take years. Well, not exactly 1 year since that point, but at least it's almost a year. So you kind of have an idea of what to expect. Also coming from a no programming background, this is something that's very interesting. I think Harry is going to speak on that. Um, so I think Sumaya is going to anchor the first half of the section, which is the panel session. Sumaya, I just wanted to give you a heads up. Harry has a tiny presentation, which you will not spend too much time doing. So you have all full autonomy to decide on how you want to navigate things. So yes, thank you.
Okay, okay. That's cool. So, Howie, if you're ready, let's start with your presentation and then move to the panel discussion because now I'm intrigued. Howie,
Oh, are we starting now?
Yes, yes.
yeah, if you are ready.
Yeah, I'm ready, but is this getting me some nervous?
Nah, nah, no, don't worry, Harry.
You don't need
Just be
to be.
yourself. Be yourself. Be
Yeah, just
yourself.
feel free, relax. There's nothing you
Okay.
should worry about.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, yeah, we can.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about my journey. And first of all, who am I? I'm Hawi Katama, and I'm from Ethiopia, and I'm a second year software engineering student, and also an alumni of NSK AI RAG AI Bootcamp. And here's my LinkedIn handle. You can check out what I'm gonna talk about from here. And this is my photo, in case you are curious about who I are talking to. And so before the boot camp, let me talk about what I had in mind and what changed it for me uh, during the boot camp. So when I was a freshman and even high school, I had a huge curiosity about tech, and I also had a little bit of exposure with programming. It's not that much. I'm not gonna say I was experienced at all. So, but what I wanted to have that reassurance to the concern I had, because I was already in freshman engineering phase, and I was about to choose my department. So I wanted something that can reassure me and say that I would be able to survive this field. And NSKAI bootcamp, it gave me that reassurance I needed, and it was the right time, the right people moment, and I loved it. So it introduced me to these four things. First of all, the field, the study I am, the field I'm studying right now at Juma University, software engineering, and also, believe me or not, I started using LinkedIn during this bootcamp, and Ebuka, my mentor from the bootcamp, he pushed me so much, and he was always talking about, hey, you should start LinkedIn, you should start GitHub and start posting and everything. And you know what? It really changed my life. Yeah. And I was not that experienced with deploying my websites that I built in high school. And during this bootcamp again, I was introduced to this deployment concept. And when I was in high school, I thought that I needed some kind of domain, an official thing to share my projects. And I always kept my project in my computer because of that. But I realized that I could deploy it on GitHub and also Vercel, thanks to this bootcamp again. And so what was next? uh, Guys, you should really use this building moment that this session is gonna be providing from today, May 19 onward, because that project I did at the end of the bootcamp, which was the hackathon, it really made an impact on my life, and I built my first ever real world project there. And also thanks to Ifyani, I was able to contribute as a volunteer developer for the development of this their learning platform you guys are using on a daily basis, which I'm very grateful for. And also Fidel, thanks again. And the cumulative outcomes, first of all, I was able to join our school's um, programming club. For your information, it was very competitive, and I was able to be selected as the first cohort. And where I got introduced to the front end and back end stuff, it was really informative, and it was it was a great knowledge to have. And the next the next one was getting accepted as the 2026 fellow of the Young STEM Fellowship. And when I mentioned that I was able to contribute to the team, right? Then when I was asked this question, what was the most impactful project you have done so far on the interview program? The first project that came to mind was this Zera we were talking about. And when I mentioned that I contributed, even it was a little, yeah, I invested my time, energy. So I proudly mentioned that, and they were so happy, and they were like, wow, that's really impressive. And I had a thought that they're gonna pick me right away because of that, because Yango is all about African thing, African solutions. So it was a good coincidence, and this session, this fellowship is gonna be giving me a lot of opportunities. Um, First of all, they're gonna give us mentorship from industry leaders, and also a bursary for my studies, and also a fully funded trip to Cote d'Ivoire. Imagine this. This is all because of the NSKAI bootcamp. Thanks again, Ifyani. You've done so much. And so the summary, this bootcamp was more than a tech bootcamp for me. It was like that summer that changed your whole perspective, your whole direction, and like I'm forever gonna be grateful that I was introduced to RAG first of all, because I finally had that. I'm gonna be diving into this AI thing, and it was a very foundational thing for me, and it gave me direction, confidence, meaning, ambition, and motivation. And thanks again, again and again. Shout out to Ebuka, Ifeni, Sumaya, Meina, Fiddle. Thank you all, especially Fiddle. Thank you so much.
This was really great presentation, Howie. I'm really happy to get to see your journey narrated this way, and I'm really happy for the opportunity that came to your hand. Ah, this is really fantastic because during the bootcamp we came with different background. We had our stay. We learned a lot, and uh, with Fidel, Mina, Howie again, we were in touch. Yeah, we were working together, keeping in touch. Yeah, but like realizing how our journey different and how the bootcamp has impacted us is another thing. So I think everyone has a lot to learn from her journey. I think so. I have seen people reacting, and someone asking why is she hiding herself. Here is she. Okay, so I think let's not just call it a panel discussion. It's just going to be a discussion because we are all on the same place. Maina, Fidel, Howie, I'm happy you joined today. Let me just start with this question. Um, what was your expectation before joining the bootcamp last year? What were you expecting to get when you applied, when you registered, when you entered your name and email to be part of that bootcamp? What was your expectation? Fidel, let me start from you.
Okay. So the first thing I was expecting was I was just hoping to learn about AI agents because even before that moment, I had no idea what AI agents were. What I was just thinking of is just ChatGPT, DeepSeek, just the way you use it. I've never even built something like an agent. I was just hoping to sort of just get clarification on what are these agents? How do they work? Because at that time last year, I heard there was a lot of popularity around AI agents, how they're really making things just so amazing, streamlining workflows and things like that. So I was really just excited to learn about AI agents. That was like the main thing that motivated me.
Great. One thing, you did understand that the session is going to cover AI agents. That was one thing. Yeah, because for me it was a different story because I didn't know what RAG was and how it is linked to AI agents. I'm going to come to my story later, but let me give this question to mine as well. What was your expectation from the bootcamp when we first start?
Sure thing. Firstly, good evening to everyone, and good afternoon for those that are still a bit early in the day. Um, in regards to the boot camp, I think my stumbling upon the RAG boot camp itself was a lovely coincidence, if I can put it that way. I was initially doing some research around AI's incoming or Kenya's incoming AI policy that was currently being drafted, and the first draft had already been published now for public participation, etc. And so I was doing research around this, and one of the people that I had found that was giving the contributions, the 2 cents towards that policy was someone who had also reposted about the NSK RAG bootcamp. And so I clicked a link, I found a WhatsApp group chat. That WhatsApp group chat led me to a YouTube page. And from that point, I started following along the different sessions. And the first session that I had was a very high level overview as to how to orchestrate a number of different, I remember, multi agent systems and how you can create an entire workforce for your company, for example, with AI agents. I think this is a topic that was mentioned a number of times by a few other people that were very AI optimistic, talking about how they're going to be unicorns, $1 billion valued companies that are built with one single founder and a team of agents. And so being able to see how something like this was put into practice was really, that was my introduction to NSK itself. And everything pretty much took off from there. I continued participating in the different sessions, and eventually one thing led to another, and we started developing the Udara project with Ifani and with Sumaya. And here we are 8 months later with a baby that has been born and been released into the world with a platform that Fidel has done so fantastically on with building that platform itself amongst so many other different aspects. And that's kind of been my journey into that. And the experience at the bootcamp, I knew about a bit about RAG. I'm the type of person that will go in and start reading scientific articles from start to finish to go to sleep. And so it was really nice being able to see that being applied practically, and especially on the African continent by other Africans. I think that was the game changer for me. Yeah.
Why am I hearing this for the first time?
What do you mean? We've been on this journey together.
Yeah, but I don't know how you joined the bootcamp, like the first story. Yeah, I didn't get that. How we? I know you have somewhat covered about it, but just to get a depth into it, like what were you expecting when you first joined the bootcamp?
Um, to be honest, first of all, I didn't know what to expect, and it said RAG AI, so it must be about AI, and I'm curious about AI. Let me check this out. That was my approach, and uh, I knew that I would be continuing this thing when I saw the first slide. They were talking about how they are gonna organize this boot camp, and also I remember it was the session with Tublian's founder. It was really impressive, and I was imagining the coming future the whole day and night, and like I knew that this thing would change something inside me, and I loved everything about it. So I realized that I was learning on the way with the excitement, and I think I didn't know what to expect. I didn't expect anything, but it was beyond my expectation. Whatever it was, I just loved it. It was so great.
I think I can relate to that. By the way, all the content from
I
last year
agree.
bootcamp is already on YouTube. So if you are curious, you guys can go
Mm.
check it out. There's a lot of interesting concepts that are being discussed and practical lessons as well. So from my end, when I first joined the bootcamp,
So
it
Ismail, we
was,
have
yeah.
Ismail, sorry, we have one more person, Rose, our lovely Rose. Hi, Rose.
Welcome, Rose. Happy to have you here.
Rose, can you hear us?
Hello, hello, everyone. Hi.
Hi, Rose, we
I'm
can
really
hear.
glad to join
Thank you.
you.
So we have three Ethiopians, no, two Ethiopians, two Kenyans, only one Nigerian. Yeah.
Yeah, Team Kenya all the way.
Forever representing,
Okay.
yes.
So,
Welcome, Rose.
yeah. Rose, we were discussing about last year boot camp and what we were expecting when we first joined the boot camp. So let me give you a moment to internalize the question, and I will come back to you.
Okay, sure.
Okay. For me, I was for quite a bit of time. I was a bit far from the development space because I was working on my startup, and I had like quite year and a half of time me without coding or being in touch with tech. Mostly, I was developing courses, business plans, pitches here and there, competitions. So for me, the boot camp was a way to remind myself why I was first into tech, and also a way to bring back my passion and bring myself back to my journey. So it was a random. I saw the banner, I think the poster on LinkedIn. So I said, what did this rag all about? And I tried to read one or two things about it. And I find it interesting and I joined. So it did remind me very hardly why I was into tech. And also, even being in a startup journey, I know it reminded me why it is important still to be in touch with my passion, the development space, and that's what happened during the boot camp. So that was it for me. Rose, just give us an overview of who you are and how you joined the boot camp, and what was your expectation when you first joined.
Okay, thank you once again, guys, for having me. Mina, I see you. Fidel. Hi, guys. It's really nice to meet you. So, I am Rose Onyango. Sumaya, you are on my team. A great teammate, a very great teammate. So yes, where was I? I am Rose Onyango. I am also building a startup. I am a CEO at my startup. So the I got wind of the boot camp through a group I was in from a platform known as Powerland Project in Kenya. The Powerland Project Africa has a goal to empower, like educate 1 million devs for Africa. So through that project, I was taking a course in AI. I had already done the first part of it, which was basic things in web development, like we learned SQL, we were learning web development and all that. So when I got wind of the bootcamp, the NSKAI, I joined so that it can go hand in hand with what I was learning. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to add on what I'm already learning and to help me to grow. So what were my expectations? First of all, when I'll be very honest, when I saw that it's Nigerian, someone from Nigeria running it, yeah. But when we saw that very many of Kenyans are joining, and then I attended several sessions where Ebuka was taking us through some real hard coding concepts, and they were very enlightening. And these people were so nice. They were giving themselves into it. They were so invested in it. They were always so punctual, always pushing us. You have to come, you have to show up, and it was so much fun. Meeting so many people, learning very many new concepts, and yeah, my expectations weren't much, but at the end of it, I was very happy with what I gained from it, and I didn't want to leave NSKI. I remember I was telling Ife, you should run another boot camp. We will join and relearn. We will relearn from start. We are very ready. And they were so, I remember Ebuka was so tired, but we're
Yeah.
so grateful to this team. They gave themselves out to us, and here we are. We are actually implementing RAG concepts in our model. We're building a custom AI model. I'll be sure to tell you more when I get the chance to. Yeah.
Oh, this is really, really good. Okay. Oh, I didn't know about that. Probably you are going to share more about that later on. Okay. So, from the boot camp, I don't know if you want to add something or say something, please interrupt me. Uh, from the boot camp, what was like the wow moment you had? Like, what was your wow moment on the boot camp?
Okay, I didn't expect that we'd be told to like build our own rug. So when we were building our own rug models, that was like a wow moment for me. And then when we got to see what other people built, it was just amazing. People are so creative, and I like that the team, the NSKI team, was so dedicated. They empowered us through it, and they gave us like honest feedback throughout the process. It was amazing to see like someone from the other side of the world, be able to tap into that potential you didn't know about, and make you shine at it. And then we were put in teams. I'm in a team with someone I've never met, but we worked so well in our teams. There was just a spirit of collaboration and brotherhood in the NSKAI bootcamp that really stood out for, I think, everyone who just wanted to stay and relearn, like go through the whole process all over again. Yeah.
Mina, what was your wow moment on the boot camp?
No, my Wi-Fi is a bit iffy. But I think the wow moment for me was firstly participating in something that was cross-continental. There have been a number of different online initiatives that exist, especially in the tech space, that have multiple people in multiple different countries. One example that I'll give is Grow My Code, for example. They usually host a number of different sessions that have participants from all over the continent. However, I don't think I've participated in one that was as engaging, as interactive as that NSK bootcamp. And I think that's what really, really pulled me into the fold, because of how you wouldn't just be hearing from the speakers themselves, but you'd be interacting with them. In different moments, we could speak to some of those speakers that we had, and we were bringing a really high echelon of speakers from a number of different AI labs to communities, to researchers from all over. And so I think for me, those particular points were the wow moment, because and especially now after coming into like kind of the backstage of the entire show, seeing how just putting out the intention to connect with and to build with other people from all over the world, making that ask is the first step to opening that door for you. So many of us usually, I want to say that there's usually imposter syndrome that a lot of people, especially people getting into a space, feel. And so just seeing that if you ask, if you speak up, if you present what it is that you're doing, you will get recognized, you will be able to collaborate with others because they will know of you. They will know of what you're building, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. And a lot of the times in such spaces, you're going to be able to align your intentions and what you're looking to build together. And so for me, this got a bit philosophical, but those were the moments that really wowed me in the boot camp itself. And that's really what made me stay.
This is fantastic. Fidel, let me pass it to you.
Yeah, oh, yes. So for me, first of all, I found it amazing that we actually got some guys from LangChain to actually take us through the various concepts over there. I thought it was amazing just to learn from them, and also the fact that we got to do some projects because even the very first time, the phase one project, I felt like I did magic when I did that project because it was amazing that the AI was able to pick like from my own documents, answer questions from my own documents. I think I built something to do with, yeah, it was African culinary. Like now I was able to even ask it to give me a recipe for this, and you could just speak directly, not just from the internet randomly, but from the data that I curated. I found that to be very cool. Yeah, that's what I'd say. Especially the part where I go to build the projects, because I prefer learning by doing. So at that time, the concepts really synced in, and I was able to understand now what RAG actually was.
That's fantastic. I think I have a somewhat similar experience because learning it is one thing and seeing it run is another thing. So whenever we were learning, I was wow, this is wow, this is wow, but I wasn't sure that I would be able to build something like that. So on our first deliverable, the first assignment we had in IVRAG, when the first time when my program runs, that was my wow moment. Like I was able to do it. The session was, yeah, wow, you can see the concept that has been discussed, even the exercises that Ibuka was showing us. We were seeing it live happening, but still then I wasn't sure that I would be able to do something similar. So the first time when my program ran, it was a tutor, and I fed it a bunch of textbook. I think high school textbooks, and I was asking it a different question, different concept from biology, physics, chemistry, and it was it was doing very good, like beyond my expectation, and that was a wow moment for me. So if this is the power of naive rag, what is going to happen when we got into advanced rag, modular rag, and all the new concepts that we were learning? So that was my wow moment. I think Howie is having issue with her connection. I don't know if you check on her.
She
Okay,
already
so that,
completed.
yeah, so that was the wow moment for me, and probably that is going to be a wow moment for everyone who is going to build on the build stage of Udara. Okay, so let me move to my next point, which is what was your learning process throughout the bootcamp? Because every day there was a new concept that's been discussed. Some of them were something that we have never heard about, that was new, not just for us, but for the AI era itself. So every day new concept, and even the practical sessions. Every day they brought something new. So what was your learning curve through the project, through the bootcamp? Let me start with Fidel this time.
For me, when I came in, actually initially, at the beginning of the boot camp, I had like very little knowledge about rag at that point. So I was even wondering what this rag is all about, things like that. So at the beginning, I was just trying to catch up. Even like after the sessions, I'd go back to YouTube, just go through the live streams, try to understand it just on my own. And then when it came to the practical sessions, where we go to see now how to implement the various concepts. Uh, I had to do it on my own because, as I said, I prefer learning when doing. If I don't build it, I don't think I'll be able to understand it very well. So after every session, I used to just try and sort of build something small on my own. And if I forget something, I can always just go back to the YouTube videos, try to see what I missed out, and just try to build it. So eventually, that sort of made it a bit easy for me to learn. I was able to at least, even towards the project, at least I had an idea how to build just a simple RAG agent. And yeah, it was just a good experience. Initially, it was quite steep, a steep learning curve. But once I go through at least the foundational concepts, it was sort of easier to at least just go on towards even the end of the boot camp, understanding everything that was even being presented. Yeah, it was mostly just being consistent is what helped me. Otherwise, if I dropped off at some point, I'm sure I would be lost. Yeah.
Yeah, consistency, going back, reviewing, and trying on your own. Oh, that's a good lesson to learn from. Rose, let me come to you. What was your learning process through the bootcamp?
Okay, so basically, I'm very new to tech. I started learning about tech last year through the Kenyan initiative, and so my learning curve. I used to pump myself up. First of all, I have to tell myself every time that I can do it. That yeah, I will, and also I was surrounded by people who are actually making it look easy and making it look doable. So my learning process was, first of all, positive energy all the way, and of course, trying and ensuring that whenever we had lessons, I would revisit because Ebuka was sure to share his repo. So I always made sure that I would revisit and try to, put one plus one, see if things add up. I'll be honest, when we were given the project, we had an individual project at first. Mine was, I'll just say it flopped. It gave me a really hard time getting that model to work. It was just not easy for me. But luckily, we were put again in teams, and then I saw how experienced people like Sumaya were able to get things done, and of course the positive energy around it I just enjoyed the community spirit throughout, and that really kept me going, kept me wanting to learn and to grow and to ensure that mine also worked as well, not as perfectly but as well as everyone else's did work. So yeah, I am also very enthusiastic about tech. I keep learning. I keep learning. So basically, it's just about, what do we say? Keep on keeping on. Yeah.
Just keep moving. Do
Yeah.
whatever you need to do. Yeah,
Mm,
that's
yeah.
fantastic. Mina, let me come to you. What was your learning process through the bootcamp?
Sure thing. I think I'll borrow what Rose was saying in just keep on keeping on. Just taking the next step each and every single time there's a new concept being introduced, there's a new topic that I had never come across before, was brought across, right? Because like Rose, I'm also relatively new to the tech space. I think my background is initially in genetics, and even with the genetics, there was a certain amount of tech that we were doing as far as topics like bioinformatics, etc. However, when it came to the bootcamp and now applying some of these skills, and Fidel was part of my team, and so he'll attest to this. There was a decent amount of code from my end, at least, that was vibe coded, without a doubt. And this is without the capabilities of Cloud Code today. And so it was, there were issues here and there. There were dependencies that didn't match with the database that we have, or even API integrations that weren't well structured. And so it was a bit of a tough process applying a lot of these concepts. But like Fidel had also mentioned, just putting it into practice and not just theorizing around a lot of these concepts is how you actually get to understand how they work fundamentally. Because I think, or at least my experience with tech is similar to mathematics. You can't read mathematics. You need to actually do the sums, do the equations for you to learn how something like that is done. And so for me, I have to say the building part of it was also what really, really helped me learn a lot more. But I'll also credit it to the fantastic, fantastic session leaders that we had, Ebuka, Ifeanyi, and a few other members of the NSK team, the original NSK team in Nigeria, who were walking us through a lot of these technical concepts. I remember the first session of Ebuka's that I had watched. He managed to explain so clearly how RAG would be implemented to the different frameworks you can be able to use and integrate, and then was doing this all on a Jupyter notebook. And so again, those things being relatively unfamiliar to me, the people that were on the team managed to facilitate this significantly. And so for my end, it was a bit of luck from now the speakers, the quality speakers that we had, and then applying again. And that's the only way I managed to learn how to apply some of these RAG systems. So much so that I managed to get a number of different employment opportunities, now creating some of these automated systems within a number of different companies, right? And so for the past, I want to say, for the next 6 to 7 months after the boot camp itself, on a freelance basis, I had managed to now get engagements as an AI engineer going into different companies and helping them automate a number of their systems using some of the RAG concepts that we got from the boot camp itself. So yeah, I think it was a success all around.
That's great. I think I can share on most of the point you all raised, but something about me, I'm not a video person. I need to read to understand. So yeah, sometimes I will go back to the videos, rewatch, try to understand, but mostly I will be on the repo, going through the files we had, the codes, read, loading everything, trying myself, tweaking here and there, reading the notes. I remember the keynote we had with Ifaini on RAG, and we went through a research paper. So I was trying to understand very hard, but I wasn't able to do so on the call. And I even went back, revisit the video, still wasn't working for me. So I had to go to the paper and I have spent quite hours on the paper trying to understand everything, because if I didn't get the concept first, if I didn't understand from where it's coming, I won't be able to now start developing or coding or anything. So I was trying to have this grasp on the basic knowledge, basic understanding of what RAG is before starting. But this still requires our own commitment, because just coming to the sessions, being live learning is one thing, but that's not enough. Not just for the concepts we feel like we didn't understand, but for the concept we thought like we understood. Because this, especially on tech, these concepts are very tricky. You may feel like you understood something, but like after a day or two, try to do something, you'll find out that you didn't. So it really needs to re-watch everything, go through, read, try to understand, Google about it, search it. And AI tools wasn't much popular as they are now, with, for example, Cloud Code and other tools as well. So for our participant this year, you have a lot of options, a lot of resource you can revisit, and please do so. Okay, so let me move to my next point, which is now, how was your experience with the hackathon with your team? How did you form your team? How did you work on your project with your team, and what was the result? And I think Mina and Fidel worked together, right? And me and Rose were in a team. Okay, let me give this to Fidel and Mina. How was your experience on the hackathon?
I think I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, yeah, initially, even before I go to form a team with Mina and Pascal, who's not here, uh, at the beginning of the hackathon, my original teammates at that point, I think, I think they had lost track of the boot camp. At that point, they felt like they can't go on. So I was a bit overwhelmed. I was wondering how can I just do this on my own. So I just remember reaching out, trying to ask if there's anyone who wants to form a team with me, and that's how I ended up being in one team with Minor, which was a nice thing. So once we actually got form a team, now I remember it was going towards the deadline. At that point is when now I think we formed our team a bit late since my original teammates we had lost connection with them. So now we just decided what can we do? We started planning on like coming up with an idea, and then now implementation, I think it took us like towards the end. I remember we were just rushing. I think we slept quite late when we were submitting our final solution. Because I remember the last few hours there were issues, like the system wasn't even working. Then at least finally once we got it to work, I did at least a short video, and I'm just going to at least uh, have finished that project because I was so worried that we would not even be able to submit in time. But it's a good thing at least I had Maina and Pascal in my team. They were really diligent. At least the fact that we actually had a good team and everyone was putting in an effort to contribute towards the project was even the main thing that at least helped us to even finish it up and at least go to finish top three. It was quite amazing. Yeah, so for me, it was a bit overwhelming initially when I had lost my other teammates, but eventually towards the end, I'm just glad it was a success.
Fidel, surprise, surprise, Pascal will soon be here. So you guys will be a team
Oh,
again. He's joining the call very soon. So I just wanted to give you a heads up.
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, so that's
Mine.
it from me.
Very nice, man. I definitely do remember that late night, us pushing various different aspects of the project to the GitHub repo, amongst a number of other issues that we were dealing with at the last minute. And I think this is just a lesson that we learn and learn time and time again. But I think just from our own kind of pressure or tough experience, I just say this to the rest of the participants, man. They don't save it to the last minute to finish up everything that you need to do. Make sure that you have everything ready enough time in advance. And this, I think, the way we're going to be structuring the build as well is going to make it so that that isn't an option for you. You being or you lagging behind, because I'd seen this in the chat somewhere. You lagging behind isn't going to be an option. I've just seen Pascal is here. Welcome on board.
No.
This is now the 30 member
Hey.
of ours.
Hey,
How you
hey,
doing, Pascal?
man, what's good? Yeah, hi, evening, everyone.
Evening,
Yeah,
good evening.
I'm not sure I can put on my camera. I'm in transit, so I guess this will just work for now. Hi,
That's all
everyone.
good, Pascal.
Sumaya, Fidel, Rose.
Hi, Pascal.
Fine.
Happy to have you here.
Yeah, I've been okay. Just up to lots of stuff
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's
with
good to hear,
work and
man. That's
all.
good to hear.
That's
That's
So I'll
good.
good.
just
That's
I'll
good.
just sit back and let you guys continue. What you guys say?
We will come
We'll
back
have
to
you
you.
translate. Definitely, definitely. Yeah, so I think other than that, the experience during the hackathon itself was challenging for me, but I think in a good way, because one, the system that we were building with was something that I wasn't familiar with, and then secondly, even just the topic that we were covering, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe ours was a credit explain um, multi-agent system that we had built, and just the credit space was also very new to me. And so learning about how exactly it works or what exactly it entails to be able to now implement it into a system that can do that efficiently and accurately, then creating the RAG pipeline for that was challenging, but I really, really did enjoy it. And yeah, having a team like Fidel and Pascal to help me walk through that entire process was definitely a great part of the entire process. So yeah, I think that was just my experience of the hackathon itself.
That's good. That's good. But I don't think this is fair. We're being dominated here. Rose, let me come to you. We need to use our voice.
Okay, my experience with the hackathon, I'd start by addressing someone here, Kambili Space, who says that he or she is scared that he'll fall behind in the build. I should know we were scared too. We were scared too, but it's very important when you have people that will show up for you and with you. So I'm very grateful, first of all, for my team. We used to plan meetings and they actually took place. And we met, brainstormed, put our head together, and decided, what are we going to build? Everyone had their idea, and then now we went into, like, you know, there's an idea and then there's the actualization of the idea. So at the end of the day, we ended up picking Sumeya's idea, which was very brilliant, by the way, building an agent that can be used to help students, like students in the boot camp, know how to go about their coding and all that. It checks any errors and it can correct you based on the instructional material. It was groundbreaking, and it was really great to build alongside a great mind like Sumeya. Sumeya is a techie. It's not like someone like me who is learning. So uh, getting in the same room with experienced people was like a game changer for me. And I cannot overemphasize that the organizing team was very, they really encouraged us. They wanted us to build something for ourselves, something that we can be proud of, something that we can look back to, and be proud of the entire learning process, the teamwork and everything. So mind you, whoever is scared, there was no money involved, but we were so happy, we were so excited to build because of the communal spirit around the NSKI project. So basically, it's about teamwork, having people who will show up for you and actually appreciating their good heart, appreciating their time, and wanting to put the same effort to match that effort and to learn. At the end of the day, when you're learning, especially as AI takes over the world, it's a good thing. It is good for you and for the world, of course. So yeah, basically that's it. Teamwork and focus on the future and positivity.
Thank you, Rose. I think you have covered most of it. Yeah, it really is a teamwork. For me, I think my team with Rose was my third team, because my first team and second team member didn't show up, so I had to ask if there's anyone who's available who can team up with me on class while we were having our session. If you remember, that is also how we get to know one another with Rose and our other team member as well. So yeah, it is really teamwork. You need to show up for your team. you need to do what you have to do, be active, learn through the process, and at the end of the day, we all are here, can ask question, engage with one another. And yeah, at the beginning everyone was scared. We don't have clue about our team members, especially you are not allowed to be from the same country. Everyone should be from somewhere else. So it's not just about the programming. You are going to learn about each other's culture, a lot of resource from different countries, a lot of understanding. Everyone bring their culture, their understanding, their knowledge, and then you work together and build something beautiful. That's what happened with us, and that's is also what's going to happen with you as well. If I need, I know we're running out of time, but I need a couple of more minutes. Let's have Pascal share with us his story with the bootcamp, and I'm going to have one final question for everyone else. Like Pascal, to you, how was your experience with the bootcamp? How did you join? How did you find it? And what was your learning curve during the bootcamp?
So this is pretty interesting because getting into the boot camp was like me. That was I was in the point where I was just trying to get back into, into the tech industry. I have a background in engineering, so I used to work or kind of as an engineer, right? But then I was getting back into tech. I had like prior experience. Well, I was just feeling like trying my hands out at things, and then I found out NSK. At the time I was like mostly focusing on data analytics and stuff, but yeah, I just wanted to push my boundaries a little bit, right? And then got into the team and followed the classes week after week, which was really stressful, like considering like the amount of work we had to consume within that short period of time. So, and I think one something that also helped was the fact that we had like, I don't know, it was some kind of take homes, or like we had tasks that we had to do, or just maybe watching the videos again and trying to um recreate the whole process that when Ibuka was like Ibuka did a lot of live demos, so like just trying to recreate that was it was a shit ton of learning for me, right? And thankfully I think the fact that we had AI was also like a huge helper, because I don't think I ever would have like gone all the way till the end if there was no AI, because I was going crazy some nights, like you're trying to debug and there's no way you can talk to, but then there was ChatGPT, right, and like Copilot. I think it was even Fidel. Fidel told me I could use my school email to get Copilot subscription, and like that was what I did, and it's like so there was so much. So at that point, I was just starting out in tech, and I was like, yeah, very far behind. But then just going through with the boot camp, like going through the whole 8 weeks and just watching those videos and like trying to repeat those things, like like it's and seeing it work, it kind of made like it boosted a lot of confidence and knowing that wow, like there's something here, like I could actually do some of these things. So yeah, it was a nice experience, and all the way I also liked the fact that we had to do a capstone project, because like you're learning all these things, but then being able to apply it to a real life scenario was also like a huge like benefit for me, right? So that was really lovely. So yeah, but since then, like I mean, like it has just been up from there, because I feel like the intensity of that boot camp made me to like understand what I needed to get, like to really get into this whole thing, and I've just been heads down like doing other stuff, right? But yeah, so that's what I have to say. Yeah. So yeah, man. Thanks, Sumay. I'll pass the baton back to you at this point.
Thank you, Pascal. Okay, so our my last question. Uh, what did you recommend for our participant this year? How do you what's your recommendation for them? How should they deal with the new concept that are coming, the build now, the team formation, working on tech for someone who is new to tech, and for those to have some practical knowledge on programming and tech?
Okay. So what I have to say about that is the first thing for me would be persistence. So I'm sure I have a strong feeling, right, that most people doing this right now are probably just starting out in tech. Because if you're not starting out, you'll probably be too busy or something. This is just a raw assumption. So it's very easy for you to like get to the point where there's so many bugs that you just want to run away or something. I think you should fight that feeling and like just go through it, because there's always going to be something at the end. There were times during like our time there where I feel like everyone like I'll speak for myself now. It got very intense, and I'm wondering like, do I really want to go ahead with this? But then just see myself till the end and seeing something tangible come out of it was like, it was a huge morale booster. So yeah, I'm just saying, if whatever you're feeling right now, like, whatever pressure anyone is feeling right now, I probably did, and I feel like other participants also did. So it's very normal, but then it's only going to be growth at the end of that. So that's what I would say.
Fantastic, Pascal. Let me pass this question to Rose. What's your advice for our participant this year?
Okay, so first of all, I'll tell you that you have absolutely nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. In fact, you will have everything to lose if you do not try, if you do not take the first step, if you do not dare to believe that you can actually build something that works. So just go for it. Do not be afraid. Don't have second thoughts. Be sure to give it your best, and it's a plus for you because you're learning. You're working with people who are experienced. You're working with people from different levels of experience. So you have everything to gain in the process. AI is like huge right now, and I can speak for myself that since I took a certificate in AI for software engineering, and then I have knowledge in RAG, it has really opened doors, because the moment we go to any room, like we're doing pitching competitions and all for our startup, and they just hear you building an AI model, and then you're explaining how it works, and they can see all the different angles of AI you're approaching the problem from. It's just mind blowing for everyone. And I can tell you, we have been winning those pitching competitions. Either we are top or we are second best. So you have absolutely nothing to lose. So ensure you go in there with all the confidence. Even if you're uncertain, it's okay. Even if you're scared, it's okay. Just pump yourself up and look into the future. Don't just look at the present and you're thinking, uh, I don't know, maybe I can't do it, maybe I can't make it. Just look into the future. Go with a futuristic eye. Look beyond the prize. The prize is what you will learn, what you will gain through the process. So, those who are in teams, ensure you show up for your team, because as I have said, and I will repeat, you have nothing to lose, and you will have everything to lose if you do not learn through the process. Yeah, just be there for yourself and for each other, and you will surely make it. You will surely win. Beyond this hackathon, you will surely win. Yeah.
Thank you, Rose. Let me pass the question to Fidel. What did you advise our participant this year?
Yeah, okay. For me, I'd say that you should look at learning more like a journey rather than a short sprint, because of the fact that you'll need to take it step by step, gradually as you continue growing. You don't just rush towards maybe chasing, like, what do you call them, like frameworks, chasing these wonderful tools. You want to just use them immediately. If you're very new, you'd start just slowly by maybe learning the fundamentals. Then after the fundamentals, there's another step. Then just like that, step by step. Just the same way you can even just think of a marathon. the way there are like multiple kilometers to cover. So you just need to take it step by step. You should not rush things because you have to make sure that you're understanding the concepts, not necessarily the tools. It's best to understand the concepts because even the tools that you use today might even change tomorrow. So you have to make sure that at least you've understood the fundamentals and just take it step by step. You just be patient in your learning journey. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
That's fantastic. Mina.
Sure thing. Um, I'm going to take mine from a bit of a different perspective. Firstly, during the boot camp itself, I think one thing that I wasn't prepared for, or that really opened my eyes, was LinkedIn as a concept, if I can put it that way. And then LinkedIn compared to other social media platforms that exist today. You look at Instagram, you look at X or Twitter, and some of these are Facebook as well. Most of the content that's being shared is about your life experiences, the people you're interacting with, the things you're doing with your family, with your friends, etc. You go to LinkedIn, and the content that is being pushed on that platform, particularly, is your journey and your growth throughout your career, throughout whatever space that you're currently in, and some of these professional achievements that you've managed to accomplish over the throughout that journey, right? And so during the bootcamp itself, this I think was one of the first moments in which I also started actively posting about what it is that we're trying to build, what it is that we're learning, some of the accomplishments, like when Fidel and I and Pascal had come as the first runner-ups during the boot camp, the hackathon at the end. And yeah, just through that, being able to build and then build publicly is something that I feel we all need to experience at one point or the other, because it is one of those learning journeys and learning experiences that are, one, uncomfortable, because you're accountable not just to yourself, but to the other people watching you, the other people supporting you. But secondly, it helps build the courage to do something like this. Again, closed mouths don't get fed. And so being able to participate and showcase what it is that you're doing on a public stage is it's motivating in all the good and all the bad ways. And so for everyone that's going to be participating this year, take advantage of that. Take advantage of the fact that you're going to be able to build and showcase what it is that you're building. Take advantage of the fact that you never know who is watching. There are certain people that reached out to not just myself, but multiple other people that participated in the bootcamp, in that hackathon, and showcased what they built, that they wouldn't have been able to get in contact with had they not shown what they're doing outwardly. So that's just the first point. The second point is, we're in a time right now in which access to information has never been easier as it is right now. There are so many places, like Fidel had mentioned, in which you can be able to take every single concept you need to learn and apply, and do a deep dive in each one of those. Dive into a rabbit hole about what RAG is, what an agent is, what a skill is for something like Claude, for example, and all the skills that they're building for those. What is a harness, an AI harness? How do you create guardrails for whatever systems you're going to be building, etc. Each one of these concepts, there's going to be 2,000 articles that you can find that are extremely quality and extremely high level for you to learn these concepts. There are going to be a number of videos and recordings and sessions, a lot of them being the NSK ones that are already on the page right now, that you can rewatch and learn from, and then start applying these actively. So I think, like a previous speaker had mentioned earlier, take the initiative to go beyond just what's required of you, because that's what's going to be the differentiator from yourself and then the rest of the herd, if I can put it that way. Right? So take that opportunity to do that. And this is something that we're going to be doing with you and guiding you through throughout the build itself. They're going to be the mentors that are working with each of the different teams. A lot of information is going to be shared on our Discord channel, which should be in the chat right now. You can just click on there and join. These are going to be topics that have been covered through this summit, the virtual summit that we've been doing, as well as topics that are relevant to the kinds of systems that you're going to be building. So regardless of what industry you're going to be tackling during the build, take the opportunity to learn about that space, learn about the tools and how you can apply them, and then do so. And then the last point that I'd put in is, again, just community. The people that you start building the teams with, build relationships with those people. Don't just hop onto the meetings or the sessions that you have with one another saying, "Dear Fidel," as previously talked about in our last meeting, etc. Actually build a relationship with these people, get to know who they are, what their experiences are, what their culture is like, what the business space is like in their different countries, because these are networks and connections that you can take with you beyond just the build itself, beyond this session, and they can be able to help and guide you through this entire process. What Pascal mentioned as far as persistence is concerned, so important. And so if you have people with you supporting you, holding your hand through the process, it becomes that much easier. So I think that's the advice that I'd give the other participants, and I really hope it helps towards what you're going to be building.
Thank you, Maina. I don't think I have much to speak about. Everything has been covered. Just to summarize, one, build in public. You don't know who is watching. That's really a fact. I can share that from my experience as well, because I have someone from UK, a university professor, reached out to me because of a LinkedIn post about the demo of our project, and he reached out because he was trying to build something similar to his students, but he didn't expect to see something in this scale, so he was surprised. So I have a lovely discussion with him as well. So you don't know who is watching, so build in public. This is very necessary. I think Ifeanyi has shared with you the links to a demo video to both of the two projects on LinkedIn. Scroll up, it's somewhere in the chat. You can go through it, and you can have like a clear understanding of what is expected from you as well. The other thing is no short path to knowledge. Like there's no shortcut to knowledge. You are going to have the long path. You should accept that. Like there's no shortcut. You are going to read, to watch video, to try again and again. You may fail today, but you are going to get it tomorrow. So that's very important. You have to persistent. Consistency is key. You can't just start today and leave it tomorrow. Nothing is going to happen with that. So you need to be patient with yourself. Community is key. To have a conversation with one another, with your mentors as well. Ask questions. Probably someone is going to have an answer for that. If you are having any issue while developing, ask question. Probably someone has faced the same problem somewhere. So yeah, so we are in this community to learn with one another, to support one another, and to grow together. That's what's happened in an SKIS community. So from today on, you are part of that community as well. So the goal is to learn with one another, to grow together. And I'm really happy for today, this year's number. And I'm expecting to see some amazing projects coming through. And this year, it's not only just about project in terms of building something that run for yourself, but it's more about building a product. So yeah, get ready for that. I have seen a lot of question about how to form team and so on. It is going to be covered once we start talking about the project. So that's from me. I don't know if anyone have anything to add. Ifeanyi, back to you.
I think I'm going to like summarize everything you guys have said in the sense that NSKAI started as just 9 people. I keep telling this story. 9 people were seated together in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. We grew to 30. The first non-Nigerian was a guy from Kenya, Moses. Maina has met him. He met him from NSKAI. We grew from 30 to 150, from 150 to 300. And then we had the boot camp. And lots of people joined. Sumaya was a participant in the bootcamp. Mina was a participant. Pascal was a participant. Rose was a participant. Fidel was a participant. Sumaya, Mina, we decided, okay, let's do a bigger bootcamp. That is the Udara project that exists today. Mina was the first person I reached out to about the Udara project. It wasn't called the Udara project. There was no me. I didn't believe that it was possible. And I reached out to Mina because I was afraid. But I spoke to him about it. Then I spoke to Sumaya. This thing you guys are seeing was a product of everybody here. So everything everyone is telling you. Sumaya, something I forgot to tell you. That person that linked you, that the guy from the UK that texted you, he sent me a request because of the bootcamp. I remember when he sent me a request, and I saw your post and I reposted it. And then when I saw that he DM'd you, I think he commented, you know how this is like how, for those of you who paid attention to Vitaly's session, we were talking about graphs, my node was connected to your node, and then he was now connected to me, and I brought you into the loop, and that was it. So this is just a typical example of how I really did not know he was going to reach out to you, and I don't know the value was. I didn't even know it was going to happen. So it's just, I think I'm just summarizing what everyone has already said, and um, like Sumaya said, last year we built a project. This year we're building a product. Next year, hmm, I won't say much on that. So let's go straight into this. Thank you to all the speakers who joined the call. Please, I hope you guys stay to the end. It's really impressive that we've had like about 60 to 70 people on the call. Give or take, I'm going to finish within the next 15 minutes. So I'm going to run us through the build. Basic things. So I'm starting with team formation. Again, I'm going to show my screen, but I want to just try and give you guys an understanding first. We would have teams of 3 to 5 people on a team. The number one requirement is that you cannot have 2 people from the same country. Why is this so? So that we get to learn a bit about our culture. The idea is, if I'm from Nigeria, you're from Kenya, you're from Ethiopia, for building a solution, I'm going to give you my own experience, my own point of view. That solution we're building is going to have a Nigerian side to it, it's going to have a Kenyan side, it's going to have an Ethiopian side to it. And if that product becomes something, we solve a problem that can cut across all 3 countries. That is the idea. So that is the number one requirement. You cannot be from the same country. So the board is going to run for 6 weeks. Initially, it was meant to run for 8 weeks, but lots of people said, okay, maybe it's too much. So every week, you're going to be making submissions, and I'm going to go into detail on that. Like Sumaya and Maina already said, you're going to have mentors. So every team has a mentor. The mentor, so there are 3 mentors actually, just Sumaya, Maina, and myself. So every team is going to have at least one mentor, and you're meant to have meetings with them on a weekly basis. So the idea for that is we've also learned from the mistakes we made last year, in the sense that many times teams will feel left behind. So just having someone else that just encouraging is very encouraging. Something I'll also encourage you guys, please stay to the end. Now, like Sumaya mentioned, maybe your team starts like first team, they all disappear. Second team. So that's why you have moderators and you have mentors, so that you can communicate to us and then we'll know what to do. But yeah, please, make sure you're a team of 3. So you can actually start to meet people. Now, hint I'll give to people: if you're not technical, if you know you're not strong technically, make sure there's a balance. Try and get at least one person that's technical. And if you're technical and you have non-technical people in your team, we're meant to help ourselves together. Like, we're meant to help ourselves. So you should carry them along. It is very important. It's very important. Something that I think Rose the drum mentions, that really Rose is building a startup. This is like one of the byproducts of the bootcamp. So, and this is the idea. Like, the dream is that from this Udara project we get many unicorns. That, this idea. There was a young man, Anna. He couldn't come. I texted him this morning, but what he worked on during the bootcamp, he continued working on it. If you go to his GitHub now, I don't even understand half of what's going on there. But it was a project done in the bootcamp. I remember he submitted leads, then submitted again. He was like, even though he wasn't going to win because he submitted late, but he said, if I check. And I was like, okay, I saw it. Then I watched him on LinkedIn. Again, key thing, he kept on building in public. I remember 2 weeks ago, I told him, Anna, well done. And I was very encouraged to see his growth because I saw it. I literally saw him start from 0 all the way to the point where he is right now. That project is so complex. I don't even know how he got there. But he continued. So this is just, So this is just what I want you guys to know. So I'm going to share my screen now. I'm going to share how will I start from now? Okay. So I'll just share my screen and I'm going to run you through 3 documents that you have access to. Everyone is going to have access to this document. Let's see, share my screen. Yeah. Okay, so I'll start with the first one. I think rulebook. Okay. So the first thing I think is that it's called the build. We don't call it a hackathon. It's called the build. Again, this all these
Sorry,
three.
Efraim.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're presenting your screen just yet, but we're not seeing anything yet.
Okay. I need to bring myself to the stage. Oh, forgive me. Somebody is meant to help me with this. Can you see now?
I think we lost her for a
Okay,
second.
Cameron. Okay. Once it comes on, let me know.
Yeah, it's coming up. You're good now. You're good now.
You're good? Okay. So again, as I said,
Yes, yes.
this
I can see.
this file is going to be available, or this PDF is going to be available to everyone. So I'm just going to run through the basics. Number one, it's starting today. It's going to run for 6 weeks. I'm going to run you through how submissions will happen. Something to note: why Sumaya hit a very very critical chord. We're not building a project. We're building a product. This is very critical for you to note. So let's go. So your crew, you can't have 3 to 5 members within a crew, and you can't have 2 people can't be from the same country. The next thing is that you can form a crew on the call on Discord. There's going to be the submission will happen on the Udara project website. So week one, there's like one you're going to be able to create your team. Your team leader will create a team. You guys have your own dashboard, and every week different submissions. Week one, you'll be asked for many things. I'm going to run you through the submissions for each week. So everything is going to happen on the Udara project website. You can just go on the Discord channel there. If you go to the Udara on Discord server, there is a channel. I think Find Crew, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Find Crew under the Udara project. For those of you who don't have a team, or if you're looking for a team, you can find a crew there. Again, as I said, just a little tip: if you know you're not technical, find someone that's technical. Just make sure you have a balance. And something to note is not the most technical team that's going to win. When I go through, you understand better why I'm saying this. So that's that. Yeah. So the team lead registers, and so you're going to drop your Discord usernames. The moderators on the Discord server will create specific channels for you, and there will be like your mentor will be added to that channel. You're going to see your mentor once you finish registration. That's going to happen. So the 3 moderators are myself. So if I call that's myself, Sumaya, and Mina. So you have one of the 3 of us being your mentors. So I think that's that. Let's see. Yeah, as I've already said. So you're meant to meet your mentor at least once a week. It is important. Why you have to meet your mentor once a week is so that we get to know who is not participating, because we also care about the growth of each member. So we want, for people who are shy and are not writing code, because I think all of us can agree that we've experienced something like this where there's one person that's doing all the work, and that's definitely not what we want. Something to note, at the end, I'm going to show you how you're going to be graded. The mentors have no say in the final product you build, because there's a tendency that the mentors will be biased towards the teams that they were with. So they're not going to be involved in the grading of like the final grading when it comes to the product itself, but they do have a chunk of points. Let me put it like that. Okay, let's see. Is there anything I'm missing? I want to just touch on a few things. Okay, so something to note. Every week you're making submissions every Sunday. So week one, the submission closes Sunday 11:59 West African time. That is the end. So if you don't make your submission, it doesn't mean you can still submit after. It's just there are consequences when it comes to the points. So Mina, please, I don't know if you can see the chat. If you can help me with the chat, just answer any of the questions.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very
sure.
much. Yeah. So again, one thing you will notice when you look through these documents is that every week we're asking you guys to push building public, talk about what you're building, and posting on X, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Something that the community advisor mentioned was that X is like the community for AI. LinkedIn is like the professional space. TikTok is a place where you can easily go viral. The idea is building in public. like we really want you guys to do. I wish you guys will understand that this is not only something that we're encouraging, it's something that all of us do. Mina, Sumaya, myself. The Udara project, I try to carry everyone along with the project, you know. When we were at 10,000 people, we talked about 13,000, 15,000, 19,000, 20,000. I'm going to tell you guys a little story. Forgive me for digressing. There was a lady called Janine Banks. I don't know if she's still working with Google, but she was like really high up in Google. I attended the conference and then she was there. I went into her DM, like, you know, shot my shot, sent her a connection request. Um, I'm in NSKA, please could you come and speak to us? A month after we had a call, I told her the story of NSKAI. It took me 1 year to get her to come and speak. Someone's, I mean, I think that's your videos, your audio.
Apologies.
Yeah, come. It took me 1 year to get to speak to her. Um, Again, I had to keep on pushing. After I got to speak to her, she came on the talk and she spoke to us, so she knew what we were doing. After that, I tried to reach out to her again for other things. She never responded to my emails, never responded to my texts. Um, this Udara project that we're working on, I talked about it and I tagged her again, and then she responded. It might not mean much to you guys, but I've been building in public, and so she was seeing it. And when she commented, I don't want to go into details to that, but it's a really big thing for me because it's just um, I think I'm a living testimony of building in public and the power of what it does. NSKI is a product of building in public. We are all a product of building in public, and that's something we're trying. I don't want to say we're enforcing, we're just trying to help you guys to build in public. That's let's see. I just want to see, I'm trying to focus on what's important. Yeah, so you can reach us through the moderators, your mentors, these are the people that you have to reach out to. Um, so that's that. So this is doc one. Let's go into weekly submissions. Let me share that screen. So let me
Before you get into the weekly submissions, just help you guys understand exactly how they're going to be forming those teams of 3 to 5 people. That's a recurrent question in the chat.
Okay, I took Sumaya off by mistake. Okay, how you be forming your teams? One, you guys already know yourselves on Discord. You guys could just start asking, like, do you want to form a team? Get together. That's one. Again, on the Udara Project website by Sunday, probably like Sunday or Saturday, you can start to, you literally, the team leader can create a team, and then you put all your team details, like team, the country, the Discord username. That is one. Then by Sunday, I think hopefully if you get it done by Saturday or Friday, we're building that currently, which is we'll finish in time for sure. We have like a super fast developer. Then submissions. I'm going to go into details on submissions, but yeah, get together now, form a team, start it. I'm going to talk about what's needed for week one, and you're going to have this document on Discord so you can look through it. Then if you don't know anyone on Discord and it seems like you guys can't form a team, there's a channel on the Discord server which is hashtag I think find a crew. You just go in there, put your name, put your country. So that channel is specifically for people who are trying to build crews. Just like Sumaya mentioned, she was looking for a team last bootcamp, and then she went into group chat who wants to form a team, and that's how she met Rose. I don't know if I've answered the question, Mina. Is that?
I think that's perfect. Yeah. So just to reiterate to guys, go onto the Discord channel. There's going to be a channel specifically for forming teams. We can be able to do so from there. The link has again been put in the chat a number of times. You can just join from that end.
Okay, so I don't know if Hosanna is on the call. Hosanna, please could you just put like hi in the find a crew channel, because people are saying they can't find the channel. So just mention that. Okay, so let's go to the second document. Let's see, weekly submissions. This is where it's going to get very interesting. At the stage. Okay. So every week there is something that you have to submit. Why did we do this? Because we realized that from last year we realized people tend to fall off. You could start the bootcamp, you could start it now, and then a week after you're tired. if you know there's something you're working to every week, it's a lot easier. Something that I think has been said time and time over is that this is an this is like an opportunity for you to force yourself to grow. You know, to put yourself under pressure that look, I have to submit every week. You know, there's a saying that if you attach a deadline to something, there's a higher chance you're going to finish it. So this project, if you make yourself, if you avail yourself, you're going to like really push yourself to the end. So that's that. So every week, one requirement is that everybody has to post a video. I think week 1 and week 6 are the only 2 times where you actually have to put your face on LinkedIn, X, and on TikTok. Everybody, team members, if you're just 3, post a video. Each one of you separately post a video talking about what you're doing, what you're building. The idea is so that you build in public. We need you guys to keep going out in public. And then again, please mention NSKAI and the Udara project. It's I already said this before, but the prize we have for the this for the build, it was because of someone that has been a part of the community for many years, and he kept on seeing what we're doing. When you guys talk about what we're doing in public, we're going to be able to do more. This is me giving more information than necessary, but there are already 3 organizations as like right now that are already asking how can we be part of this next year? There is a multi-trillion dollar organization. I'll say this again, multi-trillion dollar organization that sent me an email that let's start working towards the next one. This was only possible because of the guys last year were posting in public, and then we were chasing them, and they got to see the numbers this year. So, um, if you're going to be part of this next year, the more you talk about it, the better next year because there are so many things we want to do this year, but I don't want to go into that. So, yeah,
If I
you're
may,
going to
just
have
as you continue, kindly zoom in into the document slightly, just so people can see the text a bit better.
better.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. Thanks.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, you're not necessarily meant to be reading this with me, like, because I'm going to share this doc. I just wanted to say that. But fine. So if you miss your submission for a week, it doesn't mean you're out of it. It's just going to show because I think when I'm talking about the grading system, you get to understand that submitting on time is critical for us because we need to make sure that you're submitting on time. So even for instance, if we're week 4 and then you want to just start, you have to make week 1 submission all the way to week 4, but you're definitely not going to get the points you get for submitting on time will obviously be reduced. That's just key thing to note. So there is no eviction, there's no point in this bill that you're out of it. That's not going to happen. Okay, let's see. Week 1, I think you're going to, again, I don't want to go more, I'll go just a bit in detail into what you're going to do. One page about like what are you trying to build, who are the users, what are they, and what are their pain points. Smear mentioned that we're building a product and not a project. In this build, you're going to be dealing with users a lot because I think something that we've noticed is that most of these, that word we don't like to use, it starts with the H and ends, and then the hackathon. Again, forgive me for using that word, but when we use that word again, most people just build. But everyone knows that if you're building a product, you're building a product for your users. And if you've ever built a product before, you know that version 1 can be torn to shreds by your users. And it's very important for you to understand what it means. You build something, when your users use it, it gives you feedback. A typical example is Zera. We built Zera. Again, it was really short paced, but there's so much we learned because day 1 we had more people than we imagined. Our entire architecture was shred to pieces. We had to take it down. That was why we couldn't use Zera like for the secondary because what we had planned again was we had an idea, but when users came, like we realized, okay, this is not scalable. So that's something that is going to keep reoccurring. So you're going to be asked to get conversations from testers, real people, audio clips, screenshots of what they think about what you want to build. So an architectural diagram, a public GitHub repository. Week 2, a live product link. Let's see. week 3, I think there's something I wanted. Yeah, so the thing from week 3 is feedback from 20 users. Like Sumaya said, and again, I'm going over again. Users are key. We want to see that. Look, you're getting feedback from 20 users, and then it's. We want to see that process of how that affected your thought process into the product. Something I would say every week, each member is talking about what they did, what they learned. If you're pretending, it will be obvious. If you're pretending, it will be obvious that you're pretending. How many people do I remember? Okay, cool. It's going to be obvious. Like, if you need to be very raw and be honest. I used VS Code for the first time. I used Cloud Code for the first time. I didn't know what I was doing. Um, I don't know. We deployed and it crashed. You need to be real. You need to tell us. You need to tell your story. It's important. It's important that you tell your story. So we too again. As I said, there's no need for me to go into the details because everything is quite clear. I'm just highlighting the key things that I think are important. Week 4, let's see. Again, just taking the product up another notch. I think let me go to the end. So the final week, there are two things that the judges are going to judge you by. Two critical things. One, the actual product. Um, they're going to look at the architectural diagram, basically everything in week 6, the product, the demo video, the people who use the product, so actual users who use the product, they're going to talk about what they liked, what they didn't, and what they think you should improve on. It is going to be easy for you to get people to pretend to say this and that, but I guarantee you it'll be easy to know whether you're faking it. It is going to be obvious. So it's not the most technical project. It's really like a product that actually solves a problem, and you go through the process of failing, starting again. Like for us at NSKI, Zero was a typical example. Fidel was part of the people who built it. Howie was part of the people who built it. The Udara project, Sumaya and myself, Mina, we built the Udara project, made many mistakes, many ideas we had. When we shipped it in public, we got feedback from users. We had to change. And the way the bootcamp was last year isn't the way it is now because our users have interacted and given us like that feedback. So again, you're not building a project, you're building an actual product. So at the end of it, after week 6, the judges are going to take a week to judge the products. There may be 4 to 5 people who are going to judge the actual product. Sai, Mr. Kola, Vitali, one of our sponsors. You guys, shout out to CardPlot. They're sponsoring us, and then there might be someone else. We wanted to get people in the industry to judge you guys, just to give that top level. Then I'm going to go to the one pager that outlines how we're going to grade you guys. So it's clear for you to see what you're graded against. Again, all these documents, or these 3 documents, I'm going to show you. Is going to be made available to you. So you're going to be able to see everything, and none of this is going to be hidden. You can see everything word for word. If you have questions, you can ask your mentors, you can ask the moderators on Discord. We're always going to be there for you. It is not a rigid system. I think the end goal is we want you guys to actually build something. We want you guys to use everything you've learned. You guys learned about voice agents. You guys learned about GraphRag. Again, just another thing I wanted to mention, you're not restricted to building. You can build anything you want to build. There is no restriction. I really want you to try anything, try and build the craziest thing ever, but build it for someone. Remember, Git was a side project. Linux was a side project. OpenClaw is a side project. It's something that they wanted to build to solve a problem that they faced. And they're like, okay, let me meet someone and find out if this is a problem they face too. And that's how it spreads. This is the end goal for us. We really want you guys to grow. Something Maina said, which I want to touch on. I think it's really what's the word now? Is you're doing yourself a disservice if you're trying to upskill to get a job. I think that's destructive. I think if you focus on trying to build a product, maybe because you want to build a startup or you want to solve a problem, there are 2 things that can happen. One, that product goes live and it's also revenue and you can feed off it. Or that product does not, but you gain tangible experience. You're valuable. Mina touched on this. he had built a product. He was actually trying to solve a problem, and in trying to solve that problem, he had become valuable to himself. And people saw him and were like, "You know how to do this. Okay, we would like to pay for your value." That is something I want all of you to take away from this. Forget trying to get a job. Um, Being a valuable person is a natural consequence of going through the entire build. Not just building a project, but trying to build a product. Again, utilizing everything you've learned. Aaron's talk on design, um, Vitaly's talk on GraphRag, Venkatesh's talk on like um, large language models, Jesse's talk on vibe coding. That I feel like that was top notch. So trying to bring all of this together. I think this is one thing that I would encourage you to do, because that's the whole idea of this. So let's go to the last slide. I mean, I don't know if you have anything from the chat you want to touch on.
Not yet for now. Unless
Okay.
you guys have something.
Cool.
Before you move to the next document, if I may,
Yes, ma'am.
I think I have seen one interesting question. How do you
Okay.
guys came up with the name Udara?
This is why are you asking? So I think we're looking for names. I remember, and I okay. Udara is a fruit grown in West Africa. I think yes. Igbos call it Udara, Udala. Yorubas call it Agbalumo. I don't know what they call it in the north. So it was I don't know. I saw the fruits, and I don't know. I remember I was just asking my friend, what kind of names, and I just Dara, and I checked on it. Yes, I remember why we got to Dara. The domain name. Mina, do you remember this? We're looking for like a domain name that was free. Yeah, we're doing this. So many of the names we wanted to take had already been bought, and so we're like, what name do we have that hasn't been bought? We tried. I can't remember what we tried. We tried many things. And then we're like, oh, Udara, it's a nice name. And then we found out that it was available. And that was it, to be honest. I think even the
Let me
name,
also.
yeah, okay, please, Mina, you're good. You're better at telling stories than I am. Let me.
Okay, I think I'll do two things. I'll give the story about the name, and then I'll contextualize it to Kenya in particular, and some anecdotes that we have on our end with that name. So, firstly, the story came about, like Ifeanyi had mentioned, there's the tree itself, the Udara tree, which essentially a number of different communities would gather under, eat from the fruit, and then now share stories, share history, share knowledge with one another. That's kind of where the inspiration of the name came from, right? And so it became the Udara project from that. I remember when choosing or trying to find a logo for the project, we were looking at, for example, trees and trees that have like tech nodes. And I think for those that are in the tech space, especially on the continent, we know how prevalent something like this is. And so we pivoted in a different direction, but maintained the name itself. So that's kind of the inspiration behind the Udara project as a name. It's a space in which people can come together, find shelter, find nourishment, intellectual as much as more than anything, and then build and share information and knowledge with one another across the continent itself. Now, here in Kenya, and this was, I won't say an oversight on my end, being one of the people that had also now selected the name. Udara has a different meaning in Kenya, or in Sheng specifically, right? That can be applied in a number of different areas. And so during a few of our launches in two of the different universities, this was a question that was raised again and again. And yeah, I won't go into the details as to what it means, but this is essentially the origin story of the Udara project, and how it came to be. Yeah.
For me, what inspired me about the name was the fact it does represent the values we want the project to have: the reach, the resistance, even the shape of the fruit. I was mesmerized when I first saw the shape of the fruit. I think it was cut in half. I asked you to send me the picture of the fruit if I need. It did represent the project for me, the value it present, and it was a unique name. It didn't have any link to any Ethiopian language, but still, we are all Africans. Yeah. If any, please.
That's lovely. That's lovely. 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 I hope you guys again. One of the things. I hope you guys have seen our story. Like everything that happened here was just. It wasn't planned. It was just like people just coming together to solve a problem together. That is basically what how NSKI was built. I keep talking about this story so that for those of you who are working during in this build series, please help people. Please help people. I can't emphasize on this enough. Um, there's something that's really I find really disturbing is people just okay. I hope I'm not taking shots. People just go to hackathon just to win money and then they, look. I get you want to win money, but they're not even building. I've heard people just use the money just to chill. You know, I'm like okay. Just wanted to mention. Someone mentioned asked. Week one starts on Sunday. So week one is nothing technical. It's just so when you get the doc, you'll be able to review it. So week one starts on Sunday, but I think the website should be ready or like the page should be ready by Saturday later, so you can start to make submissions. The deadline for week one is Monday. Oh, sorry, Sunday 11:59 West African time. So let me go to the judging system. How we're going to judge. This is just a one pager, so it's very easy for everyone to see. Okay, how you be judged. Bring to the stage. It's not popping up now. Okay, it's popping up now. Okay. Can you guys confirm if you can see my screen? Like I need to hear me now.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you need to zoom in a bit.
Okay, fine, cool. How's this? How's this?
That's
Okay,
good.
fine.
Okay. So number one, and I'll take my time to talk about each point. The weekly public posts. You're scored on your consistency. Did every member of the team post every week? So if you do not post for that week, you're going to lose points. This is something. I think something that's not also written here is the content. You know, like how it's very easy to see. It's very easy. You can tell. Okay, this person is obviously the most technical person here. This person is struggling. This person is So we're going to also judge you on the actual content of the post. So some of you who participate in the weekly activities of posting weekly, it was very easy to tell people who were just saying rubbish and they're just on the call. I attended this session. They didn't even know what was going on. That's why they didn't win. It was clearly obvious. Your meetings with your mentors have a chunk of points. They score you based on your attendance and your engagement. Did you show up prepared? Because again, your mentors have they have schedules, they have things they're doing. So are you on time to your meetings? Do they have platform? Is this guy ever in attendance? Are you guys a complete team? These things matter. So did you ship every week? Honestly, I'm on time. So the things that you're meant to, your submissions, did you submit in time? This is critical. So if you submit, like, deadline is Sunday, 11:59 West African time. You now submit like Monday. It was not 1 a.m. It was 2 a.m. That's going to affect your crew. Are you guys all from different parts of Africa? Something to just mention here is, I don't know, we probably have to talk about it. There will be teams where your team members drop out. They're not available. They're not attending. It's good if you communicate this to your mentors and to the moderators because this is something that we noted last year. I think it'd be unfair if, for instance, one person is ready but his other two teammates have dropped off. So I just wanted to say this. In case this happens, fear not. Maybe you're posting and your team goes off. Maybe you're into week 4 and your team goes off. So we would have. We're here to address it. So I just wanted to let you guys know that when we get to that point, it's not like you're not going to grade it fairly. But do try. I can see people on the call are already trying to form teams. That's very, very good. That's very smart. and there are about 60 to 70 people. I know there are people that are going to watch this video later. Please join the Discord server. I'm going to also put the link in the chat. I think also in the comment section. This is something that we've not been doing, and I apologize for that. Again, I put it here. The people who are going to judge you, Sai, Mr. Kola, Henry is one of he's the representative from Cardplot, Vitali. I haven't actually spoken to him about this, but I don't think you'll have any issue with him judging. Vitali, if you're on the call, I hope you don't be annoyed. And then there'll be one more person. So mentors don't have the we can't judge the final product because it's not fair, because we'll probably like have emotional feelings to you guys. Now, the technical depth of the product, the demo video, the product and its users. This is very important for us. It's important, again, I'm emphasizing on this. It is not a project, it is a product. Because it's important that through this, you really learn what it means to actually build an actual product. It is, when, I don't know if you guys have heard from Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, where he talked about, Steve was so obsessed with the iPhone, like he's zooming into like the pixels for the iPhone. Like the level of obsession on the product is out of this world. So it really helps you to understand what Jesse was trying to say, that can you build something that's production ready in a week, in a day? Like, if you know what it means, like the level of detail that goes into a single product, it gives you a lot more, like gives you a different context, like a different experience. So this is why it is, you're not building a project, you're building an actual product. So they'll also assess your weekly videos too. They'll just check it out. I think the first and the last one. So these are the two things that the judges will judge. Let's see. Yeah, so something just to note, you guys, be honest. It doesn't matter. Like, honestly, how do I put this now? If we can see that you had 5 people tell your product was bad, and we saw that you actually grew, like you destroyed your product, or you destroyed like version 1 because of feedback you got from users, we can see your growth. You're most likely going to do better than someone that your product is fantastic, and they were just, they were just faking it. It just looks all perfect, but in reality, it's not. Because the idea is to see that you actually grew. That is the most important thing. It doesn't matter whether you're first, second, or third. The idea is you solve a problem, you've gained a skill, you solve a problem, and we want you to take it to the next level. I look forward to seeing that, just like Anna. Anna is an example of, I think, the Udara dream, someone that what he built during the boot camp, he continued. And I am so excited and I'm so grateful that I was able to be a part of his journey. We want to see that, by this time next year, you have like maybe 1 million users, and we can say, oh, it started from the Udara project. That is our desire. And worst case, the consequence of building a product is that you're going to acquire a skill, and you're going to be valuable. And when you build in public, people will look for you because you have value, and they will pay for your value. So last thing to mention, let me stop sharing. Last thing to mention, the prize money. I think everyone has been on, I like to say, on my neck for this. We have $2,000 in sponsorship. Just to confirm, can you guys still see me? I can't see myself anymore. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
So we have $2,000. Yeah, we have $2,000 in sponsorship. First prize is going to get $1,000. Second is going to get $600. Third is going to get $400. Honestly, I would have wanted us to give prizes like top 10, but we couldn't get enough funds. Sadly, the guys that participated in the bootcamp last year didn't get any money. Smear, Mina, Fidel, Rose. Sorry, you guys. There was no money during your turn. But I think it's just telling you how we've grown. And probably the guys next year might have $20,000 in prizes. That would be so unfair. I think at that point, I think old members can participate in the hackathon again.
I don't know if it should be biased for moderators to join, but I might just consider it, man.
I'm definitely going to participate, my brother. I'm also learning too, you know. I'm also learning too. So, it's 11:59 p.m., not a.m. Abraham Faith. So that's all from my side. Mina, are there any questions in the chat? Because I guess we've already spent 2 hours. Um,
Presenting this. Yeah, just
Mina, it isn't. Okay, Mina, I think your network is bad. Osme, is it me?
No, it's minus.
Okay, okay,
before I
okay.
hop into the questions.
Okay, you want to say something? Okay, cool. Mina, your network is shaky.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I think the chat is busy forming teams.
Which is good. Which is good. Which is good.
Yeah,
Which is very good.
this remind me of the last year bootcamp as well.
Okay, Mina.
I know the hassle.
No, Smea, sorry, continue. Um,
No, I was just saying I know the hassle on searching teams.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
it's better if you do that on Discord.
yeah.
I don't know how it's possible here, but I think they're having it.
Yeah, everyone just wants to.
Yeah.
Mina, you want to say something?
Yeah, apologies. I hope you guys can hear me clearly now. Just give me
Yeah,
a
we
thumbs
can.
up if you can.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, firstly, yes, to everyone that's looking for a team and trying to form teams on the YouTube chat, great incentive, great work to do that, but it's going to be relatively tough being able to get in contact with people now through YouTube itself, right? So again, we just suggest you go onto the Discord channel. From there, you can be able to directly message whoever it is that you're going to be building your teams with. So just to facilitate that process, you can migrate those attempts now to the Discord channel. Now, the point that I was going to make earlier was around what it is that we're
Mina, your network. Oh gosh, it seems like his network is really bad today. Bros, like, are there network issues in Kenya? How come Fidel and Rose's network is good?
Mm, the network the network is okay on my end. Maybe it could be raining where Mina is.
I guess. I don't know. Are there interesting questions in the chat? Yeah, you guys. Yeah, the build. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, people are already looking for teams.
You're fine. Nobody is listening to you. Everyone is busy.
No, it's good. It's good. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm loving this. This is good. It means that people are. And a big shout out to everyone who attended the call. Like we have like about 60 to 70. Shout out, Mina. I don't know what you're going to do because every time you want to like you come back, you're good, and then once you start talking, it's good. You see, we need to
let me
solve.
tell you, trying to do a lot of these things online in Africa is still such a mission.
No, we need to do two things in Africa: electricity, energy, network. These are two problems. This is an open call, you guys. We need to solve this problem in Africa. It is a problem.
I think this is something that we can direct some of the build participants towards. Sincerely, if you guys have any ideas as to how we can work on better internet connection systems that we can build and scale across Africa, this is your chance. Let's start building this now and see how we can bring that product to the African market, not just your local one, right?
Yeah.
But just to confirm, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can, Mina. Yes,
Okay, man. Let me try this. Hopefully, that time's the charm. So the point I was making is that with Udara, what we've been building is even with NSK itself, we have managed to scale up to over 20,000 participants. And I make this point because we did not spend a single dollar, shilling, bir, naira on marketing, on paid media, on anything of the sort. This has been done organically, 100% organically through the channels that we've been building, some of the strategies that we have through the ambassador program, through the Udara campus chapters that we're setting up in various universities across the continent. And so, from our end, and even for everyone that's participating, understand that this is still a startup in itself, right? This is something that is being built by the community together, people that are making the intention to continuously build with other Africans, right? The idea of behind this, and even why we keep emphasizing that you need to pick members from different countries, is so that we learn how to build together as Africans. Too often we're building within our local countries, and if it's not with our local countries, it has to be with the West, with the East, other places other than Africa. And so understand that what we're trying to do right now is incentivize your connection with other Africans in other countries, building your network on the continent so that we can be able to build economies of scale amongst so many other different things that we need on the continent for us to grow, not just to be competitive on a global scale, but just to assist in building our own countries and these challenges that we face on the continent. So just to that point, yes, right now there's the initial 2000 USD that we have as the prize money. It's a lot of money, I think, compared to other hackathons, even the previous one that we had, like it was mentioned. But best believe that in the next few years to come, the next iterations of this, because of what we've built and because of what we've structured up until this point, it's only going to scale and get bigger from here. For the people that are going to be returning and participating, we're only going to continue bringing you quality speakers, quality Africans that are building on the continent, building AI systems to benchmark models, to so many different things. And these are things that you can all look forward to, but not just in seeing and viewing from the outside, but we welcome you to participate in building this. Join the movement, join this entire mission. Message Ifeanyi Sumaya, myself, anyone else in the NSK community, in the Udara community. Find out if you can set up an Udara campus chapter within your university so that you can get other students to come and start participating and building with the rest of us. This is something that I think is going to be very influential and effective in your lives, in our lifetimes, and we want to build with each one of us together. So yeah, just my 2 cents on this, but please welcome on board.
Let me just hop on this before we go. Something to note. Work has already started. We already started working on the next edition without even knowing. There's already someone that reached out. I want to be part of the next edition. A professional. I'm not going to give in any details. As I said, there's already a multi-trillion-dollar company already like in my DM that they want to be part of this next time. Something Mina mentioned. You guys, when we're done with the build, we're going to have like a ceremony for like the winners. That's one. We're going to do the Udara project again. For those of you who are basically the people who are going to participate in the build, you guys are going to be our foundation. Sumaya, Fidel, Maina, Rose, all 4 of them are a part of the NSKAI community. Sumaya and Maina, literally, all 3 of us build the Udara project. Rose is in charge of research when it comes to NSKAI. She has been handling research on for NSKAI. Fidel literally was one of the AI integration on Zera that all of us use. Fidel was the person that built it. And that's just the beauty of it. Whatever we have next year is going to come from all of us. And that's just so exciting. And I think the coolest thing is it's the in-between. We never imagined that we're going to build Zera. I mean, I don't think we ever thought of this. I don't think we ever imagined we'd get 22,000 people. Fidel, I don't think you thought we would have built Zera. Rose, I know you always. I don't think you knew that you'd have been pushing the research unit like this. I don't think you expected that. We've all grown. So, in as much as we're asking people to build, we're also building ourselves. Like, I was just thinking about it now. Like, it feels very strange that we're doing this. Like, I'm just like, what is this? Like, how did we get here? I'm just like, okay, this is a day at a time. So, exciting. I saw in the chat someone was asking. There's going to one deadline for submission, as I said, Sunday 11:59 West African time. Submission for your teams will be on the Udara project website. It should be live. That poll for submission it should be live by Friday, Saturday. But we'll communicate to you guys on Discord. Any other questions you have, put it there. We're gonna answer. I don't know. I guess we do need to end soon. Samir, Fidel, Rose, you guys have anything to say? Let's just end. Samir, you're doing closing remarks, by the way. Let me just say that. Let me just say that now, so that you start preparing your mind. Yeah, Samir, you're doing closing remarks. Let me see if you're not here. Hear it again. So I think before we get to Sumaya, Fidel, do you have anything to say to the participants, just to encourage them? Because I feel like these guys are not even listening to what we're saying. They're not even listening to us at all. They're not with us.
Okay, one thing I'd say is consistency. Consistency is such a major thing that if you master it, you'll go really far. Because let's say you're starting out small today, then the next week you're just growing, doing the same thing every day, being disciplined. Let me call it that. Discipline. Even if you're at a point where you feel like giving up, feel like stopping, and you just go on. Like that's the importance of discipline. You just be consistent. You'll end up even growing. I remember even when I started coding in 2021. At that point, I was still learning the basics. I didn't know I'd even generally come this far. Like 5 years later, I thought I'd maybe pursue another field, another course, but yeah, here I am because at least I try to be consistent, try to just continue learning, continue growing. Yeah, it's just mainly about the consistency. Is what I'm sure will take you far without a doubt.
Thank you very much. Rose, any final remarks? Okay, seems like maybe her network went off. Mina, then Sumaya closes. Mina, any final remarks?
Yes, sir. To everyone that's going to be joining and participating in the build, take this opportunity to build the most. Take this opportunity to challenge yourself. Take this opportunity to learn and to implement. And like Fidel mentioned, take the opportunity to also build the discipline and the persistence within yourself, right? It's going to be challenging. The fact that you're going to need to present something each and every week is going to be challenging. We have lives, whether it's work, whether it's school, whether it's family that we need to deal with. There are a number of things that will come into play along these 6 weeks. But try and structure yourself, try and organize your life, your timelines to be able to work on this. And while you do so, you never know what opportunities are going to avail themselves to you through this process, through you building publicly. So all I can say is thank you for coming on board. Thank you for seeing the vision, trying to implement and join the Udara movement itself. This is our brainchild. And so from my end, all I can share is gratitude for joining the movement. So thanks.
Thank you. Before I pass the baton on to Sumaya, Success Symphony, thank you for reminding me about the social media winners. Just wanted to mention Instagram. So I'll call your name. If you can only win one, so if I call your name on another platform, we're only going to give you one prize. So we're giving out $10 coupons to all the people I mentioned. So for Instagram, we have Tech with Nell, Jesu Wale Peter Godwin. You're not meant to play, but it's fine. Official Kenneth 07. That's that. Then on Twitter, I think Izibukun and Mr. Hosanna. These are our two winners. Again, it's not just posting the menus that you won. It's really just okay. It's also that like you're actually saying something tangible. Let's see, TikTok, M. Khalifa. That's our only winner from M. Khalifa. LinkedIn. Let's see. I have LinkedIn. Sorry, just give me a second. I have LinkedIn saved somewhere. Wrote this one down. Gosh, what's this? Okay, yeah. LinkedIn, we have 3 winners: Divine AK, Agnes Felicite, and Dr. David Nelson. I hope this is not official enough, so that's what I wanted to say. So in the chat, I think someone is asking, you have to find a way to make it 3 members from different countries. I think last year the bulk was there are more Ethiopians than any other region. I think now there are more Nigerians than any other region. So you guys figure it out. Again, you can do this on Discord. There are 1,600 people there. So the challenge is closed. Yeah, the challenge is closed. Rose, you didn't get to say a closing remarks before Mayor ends it for us. So
Okay, so what I can say is from the get go, the Udara project and everything that has come out of NSKAI was like meant to be. That is what I would say. From where I sit, I feel like things were just put into place, everything was falling into place, and now we are here. And it's now bigger than any individual. It's about building synergies as Africans, no matter where you come from, no matter your technical, level, anyone and everyone is welcome in this community, and you can feel loved, you can feel cared for, you can feel at home, and be ready to learn and build. So Africa to the world, Udara, here we come. We're very proud and very happy to be part
uh,
of this huge vision.
lovely, lovely. Thank you. Rose, you're going to make a video for this project, 1000%. Uh, so I think Sumaya, the mic is yours. Please tell us bye bye.
Okay, I hope I'm audible. Thank you everyone for joining this session, not just this, but the whole week. So this is us creating the opportunity we crave for, not just for us, but for everyone else. So please use this opportunity properly. Something to emphasize on, please build in public. This is very important. Keep engaged on Discord. We will all be there. Reach out to us on LinkedIn, on Discord. Tag us, and we will be amplifying your voice as well. Okay. Also, I want to shout out to our ambassadors. Like, I don't think we have emphasized on this. This wouldn't have been successful without their efforts. So to our ambassadors, you did it. Probably we are going to do a post about it. We are very grateful for all the effort you made for this to become successful. Thank you so much. And for our participant as well, this wouldn't have been success without you. And we will continue to build, and we cannot build without you. So we are hopeful that you will be with us alongside our journey. Thank you for being this. This is the end of today's session. Take care and start your build. We'll be here for you. Thank you.